Hi, welcome to the Chazz Palminteri podcast. Before we start, I always like to say, if you like what you hear, you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It means a lot. Also, my one-man show is out now. I'm doing my one-man show at a city probably near you, Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Florida, all over. Go to chazzpalminteri.net. This is the one-man show, A Bronx Tale, that I first did 34 years ago. My God, it's been a long time. That's the show that Robert De Niro saw, and that's why I'm here today. That was my big break in life. Okay, so today is neighborhood logic, one of the favorite topics people like to hear about. So we have Homeless Pimp with us and my son Dante. Dante, Pimp, what is the first question we have?
What do we got?
What do we got here?
What do we got? All right. What is this?
Come on.
I think your mic's muted.
Is your mic muted?
There we go. There we
All
go.
right. What do we got?
Okay. It goes back to what we were talking about before, Michael, with people going on Rumspringa in their marriage. This guy says that his wife wants an open marriage.
And did he leave his name?
Tony.
Tony. Oh, so he's got to be Italian. Oh, this is a tough one for Tony, boy. Oh, yeah. Tony doesn't want no open marriage. He says, "What? My wife wants an open marriage." You know, I've been hearing about a lot of that lately.
Yeah, it's big now.
Is that big now?
Oh, yeah, I know a lot of
Open marriages are big now. I wonder why. Why would it be big now? Because I know it was big years ago. And
Probably
then now it
social
came back
media?
again?
You think social media?
Yeah, social media has got to do with something about this open marriage. Think about it. You know, you're bored one night, you get on the internet, bing, bam, you got like choice of 50. You know, open marriages. Type in open marriages, who's available? Wow. Yeah. You know what? You're
That's
probably
what it
right.
is. It's a shopping mall for
It's a
human
shopping
bodies.
mall for people who want open marriage.
Yeah.
You know, I never heard of an open marriage, and that lasted. I don't know. I know some open marriages when I was younger, and they lasted for a while. But then I think after a while, I think you break that. Well, I should deal with Tony and not with me right now. I think you break that trust. I don't know. I wouldn't want it because I feel like you break that trust. And once that trust is broken, look, remember, you know what I always say, you got to suffer, you got to it's hard to be faithful. But if you do it, in the end, it pays off.
Well, they described it as like a Rumspringa, the way the Amish let the young kids go,
Yes.
experience life, and they usually come back. 80% of the time, they come back.
80% come back.
to being Amish. So maybe we're just old school, and maybe that makes sense to these young kids.
Maybe it does. I don't know. So Tony, it's up to you. How do you feel about this? I mean, I'm sure you love your wife and she loves you. And I mean, does she want to just try it one time, or I would be worried about this. I would say, well, is there somebody she likes that she wants to do it with her, or is this like a way of life that she wants to have now? I mean, I think that's the question you have to ask her. Is it somebody she has in mind, or it's just she wants to give this a try? Or maybe you could speak to somebody about maybe your sex life is boring with her, and maybe she wants to spice it up. I mean, that happens. You know, after being married for, I don't know how many years you're married, Tony, but I would say neighborhood logic says that it's something that you got to be concerned about. You got to talk to her about it. I don't know, are the kids involved? If there are kids involved, that makes it something else. I mean, so I would say I would investigate it a little more. I don't know your situation. I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say why. I wouldn't say yes. I would say, well, let's talk about this. Why do you want this? Is there something I am not fulfilling in this marriage? is there something that I need from you too to fulfill this in myself?
And I feel like that the motivation for it from her must be lust, right? And lust is like a lower emotion.
That is very true. Lust is a lower emotion, but it's a very strong emotion. And maybe something's not right in your marriage. Maybe she wants to be with someone else. But why does she want to stay with you? Are you a great provider, a great father, a great husband? There's a lot of questions here. I wouldn't jump into it and say, yes, I would go speak to someone. I mean, I could give you my neighborhood logic, and my logic tells you, and we all feel that it's something that you should sit down and talk with her about. Absolutely. But I wouldn't just let it go and say no, because for her to say that, something's not right in the hen house. So check it out. All right, what's the next question?
Oh, you'll like this one. Chazz.
Yes.
I love the podcast so much. I've been watching it since day one. I have a question for you about my kid. He is in 6th grade, and in his school, he's repeatedly getting bullied.
Okay.
Chazz, what do? I need some neighborhood logic.
Neighborhood logic? Kick some ass! That's what you do. No. 6th grade, how old is that? How old are you in the 6th grade? Let's see.
Like, what, 11?
11, 12? Well, obviously, being bullied is a serious thing, folks. A lot of kids, some kids don't want to go to school. Some kids, their grades fail. They fail their grades. Some kids, why is he being bullied? Is he different than everybody else? Is something wrong? Why is he getting bullied? Let's find out that first. Who's bullying him and why is he getting bullied? And I would go right to the school. I wouldn't waste any time. My logic says to me, the neighborhood, go right to the school, you want to know who the kid is, bring the kid in the office with his family, your family, and the teacher, and straighten it out. Don't wait. Don't tell your kid to go punch him in the face or hit him with a rock or hit him over the head with something. Let's go in steps here. Let's do the first thing is get that child in a room with his parents and you and find out why he's being bullied. I mean, look, being bullied is a very serious thing. A lot of kids get bullied. There's some kids who are men or women who are gay who get bullied, and obviously some of them actually take their own life. So this is a very serious subject. So,
but don't you think a little bit of bullying is good for kids?
A little bit of teasing.
There's
a little bit of ball breaking.
Look, and that's the difference. You know what?
There's a fine line.
There's a fine line. No, I don't know about a fine line, but look, I was bullied every day growing up. We all were.
Yeah.
But we grew up in a neighborhood where we constantly, the older guys bullied us, and then we bullied the guys under us. So we grew up with that, and we didn't really have these things when we were growing up.
It's different now. It's different now because now you didn't have cyberbullying when you were a kid.
No, that's very true.
If you went home or if you stopped hanging out with your friends, that was it.
Right. Now
everybody knew it was kind of taken in stride for the most part.
Right.
I mean, there was evil people when you were a kid. But now, I mean, you go to school, you get shit. Now when you come home, people are writing you on Instagram or Twitter saying you should,
Well, that's the bad thing about the internet, folks. I find that people really give a shit what other people say. And especially if you're a 11-year-old kid, oh my God, and people say that about anything bad about you, wow, you think the world is about to end. When it comes to bullying, but I really do believe a man or a woman should teach their child how to fight. I believe that. I mean, it's not being, I don't want to sound archaic or some kind of, violence. Of course not. My father taught me how to fight when I was young. I boxed, and I learned when I started when I was 3 years old. 3 years old when I was able to walk and throw jab, jab, right hand. And then my father taught me that. And then I still box. I box 12 rounds 3 times a week. I taught my son to fight. And I said, I'm teaching you how to fight so you don't fight. That's why I'm teaching you. So you could walk away from a fight and feel secure about it. Now, are there times when the bully just stands in front of you? Yeah. Sometimes you do got to fight. I remember a bully that bullied me a couple of times. I was in the 8th grade, and I didn't want to fight him. And then he was picking on my friend. You know what? I can't. I remember his name, Robert. Wow, holy God, I can't believe this. Robert Labriola. Robert, if you're listening, you remember I fought for you. And he was right there, and this guy Mikey Lombardi, was picking on him. And I said to leave him alone. And he said, well, I'll fight you then. And he put up his hands, and I took care of him. And I'm not saying that in a proud way, but he didn't know how to fight. He put up his hands, and he was like, throwing ridiculous punches. And he was like a piece of cake to take care of. But I felt the confidence. I remember the confidence I felt after that. And he never bothered me again, and he never bothered Robert again. So life is hard. Neighborhood logic says life is hard.
Well, that's a good metaphor for life, because life is just a series of being bullied by different circumstances.
You're absolutely right. You're always getting bullied in life. If it's not your boss, it's not your friend, it's always somebody.
The mortgage,
the car payments, somebody's always bullying you. So the more you're ready for it, I think the better it is. I think every child, man or woman, she could learn karate, could learn boxing. First of all, it's a great physical exercise. It's wonderful. Why wouldn't you want them to do it? To build up their self-esteem? I mean, like I said, I've been teaching my son since he's 3. He does MMA, he does boxing. I mean, I'd be afraid of getting in a tussle with him now. But I'll still kick your ass. But I think it's a good thing to have. So my neighborhood logic says, do what I said first. Go there with the parents. Get his parents in the room with him. Do it the right way first. Say, hey, this has got to stop. If the kid really keeps it up and hurts him, then we'll take it to the next step.
All right. We got some more questions here. This is from Stephanie. I so love the show. I have a question about the beautiful Catherine Narducci that played your mother. How close was her depiction to your mom? She brought so much warmth to the movie. And did you really eat steak once a week?
Yes, we did eat steak once a week. And if you watch the movie, my father always used to say, hey, you know how many times I got to drive that bus back and forth so you could have that steak? And I think the boy goes, 7. How'd you know that? I took a shot, but that's the truth. And we did have steak once a week on Saturday, I remember. And Catherine Narducci, yes, she was so much like my mother, even looked like my mother.
Tell them the story about how she got the part.
Well, everybody knows how she got the part. She brought her son
did.
down. She wanted to audition her son.
She wasn't even auditioning.
She wasn't auditioning, no, and she saw all these people walking in. She was wondering what was going on. They said they were auditioning for the wife of De Niro, and we were talking with her. Bob said, you want to audition? And she auditioned, and she beat out about, I don't know, a couple of hundred women for the part. She never really was an actress. She wanted to be an actress. She thought about it, but she was absolutely terrific. There was a warmth about her, and there was a realness and honesty about her. And she had immense amount of talent, natural talent. And obviously, we were right to cast her because she's had an incredible career that's lasted 35 years, and it's still going strong. So, you never know. Remember what I always said, life's about showing up. Catherine showed up. If she didn't show up that day, her life is different. That's how important it is. Next question.
Okay, this one's from Mark.
Mark.
Mr. Palminteri, why don't you talk more about the character you created for The Usual Suspects, Agent Dave Kujan?
Why don't I talk about Agent David Kujan? Well, Bronx Tale, A Usual Suspects was such a great movie. I personally think it's one of the great endings in cinema history. Because you go, what? Who? To this day, I always say, Gabriel Byrne still thinks he's Kaiser Sose. Gabriel, you're not Kaiser Sose. It was Kevin Spacey who was. No, we had so much fun doing that movie. And I always tell people, I was working, that was between 2 movies I was doing. I was shooting Jade, and then I had to jump into that. Then I did Mulholland Falls. So I only had like 7, 8 days. So they put me in a room with Kevin Spacey for 7, 8 days, and we shot all the scenes together. And then they started shooting the movie. And Bryan Singer, who's a brilliant director, put me, in between all the scenes, and it was brilliant. And Christopher McQuarrie, who wrote the script, is just, won the Academy Award, won the Oscar. Wow. I mean, what a way to break out out from from the beginning. Winning the Oscar on your first script, wow. But it was really, truly an incredible script. I just love the character, David Kujan. I love when he tells him, he goes, "I'm smarter than you." He tells Verbal Kint. That's why I'm going to find out. He was so smart. He was so brilliant, the character. And the way Christopher wrote him, I was so grateful to play a great part like that. I thought he was really one of the great heroes in cinema history.
Chazz, can you tell us who the 4 gentlemen in suits are in the background picture on your desk?
Oh, these. Oh, yeah. This is the movie Mulholland Falls. We played these detectives from the 50s. That's me right there. That's Michael Madsen, Nick Nolte, and Chris Penn. God rest his soul. That's Chris Penn, Nolte, Madsen, and me. And we played these real-life guys who were back in L.A., cops, L.A. A great movie, by the way, Mulholland Falls. Really terrific movie. If you get a chance to see it, with Melanie Griffith and Jennifer Connelly and John Malkovich. Oh, my God. Great movie. Great. And in the scene at the end, should I say what happens? Well, I won't tell you what happens, but when you see the plane land and me and Crash and me and Nick Nolte jump out and we're laughing hysterical, and you say, why are these guys laughing? Because I'll tell you a little secret. Nick and I were shooting it, and after about the 8th time we had to crash the plane again, jump out, he looks at me and goes, "Do you believe what we get paid to do?" And we started laughing. And we were laughing so hard that we didn't realize the guy said, action, action. And he yelled, action. So we had to leave the plane laughing hysterical. And that's the take that's in the movie. He thought it came out great.
We have to do a whole, what's on your desk episode.
There's
a lot of stuff because the camera can't see actually how high that shelf gets.
Yeah,
and all the different levels and all the stuff to your right, all the other stuff there.
Maybe we'll do that for
Now, were you friends with stunt people?
With stunt people?
Fascinated with stunt people.
Oh, I got to know them, but I love stunt people. I'm one of those guys. I never want to do my own stunts. I'm like, stunt man, excuse me. Like a director would say, Chazz, can't you dive into the pool? I go, listen, I'm an actor. He's a stunt man. Actor, stunt man. He does it. Directors always want you to do the stunt so they can get in close. I'm sorry, babe. The last time I tried to do a stunt, I got hurt. And what's going to happen? I get hurt, I miss work, and they move on.
What'd you get hurt on? What set?
So embarrassing. The movie was... One of the first movies I ever done was called, because I was like young and, I want to do my own stunts. And still they said, Chazz, well, just got to be careful. I said, yeah, I could do it. So I saw the stunt and I said, well, wait a minute. You want me to jump from the steps then everybody jumps on top of me? No. So he said, all right, Chazz, here's what we do. We'll have the stuntman jump. They pile onto him. Then we'll remove the stuntman and you just slide underneath him. Could you do that? And I go, I could do that. I get underneath. They go, action. And all their weight came on me, and I cracked my rib.
Oh, my God.
I didn't even do the stunt, and I got hurt.
Oh, my God.
And everybody laughed, and they said, yeah, big guy wants to do the stunts. I was this young actor, and I got hurt not even doing the stunt.
Do you remember when I did Orange is the New Black, and they had the stunt double jump off the 4-story building?
Whoa.
You remember that?
I remember that. My son was in Orange is the New Black. He played this suicidal person. He jumps off this 4-story building.
They actually had I walked up to the edge of the building, and I was like, holy shit, man.
Right.
And I looked at the stunt double, and I'm like, you're going to do that?
You look at the stunt guy, and he's like, yeah, it's like work. And he jumped off a 4-story building into this big
balloon thing.
And I was like,
now is that always their dream? I'm fascinated by them.
I don't know. This guy was incredible. He was in Waterworld in Universal.
well, first of all,
this guy's like crazy.
You get paid extra for
Alex.
that. I mean,
I
there's certain guys
Alex.
that do these like high dives. They get paid. They get paid for that.
4 stories is
4 stories.
when you're looking down, dude. That's high.
That's crazy. And you know what's brilliant? Tarantino wrote Death Proof, and he made the star of the movie the stunt woman from Kill Bill.
No shit.
So he cast the stunt woman as the star.
That's who that was?
Yeah.
No way.
What was the name of the movie?
Death Proof.
Death Proof.
Death Proof. Wow, I didn't know that. That's a brilliant idea.
I actually have a question about Tarantino. I listened to him on Rogan, and what do you think about him just calling his career at 10 movies and he's done? He's going to do one more film and then never make a film again.
Wow.
Is that true? Is that true?
He confirmed it's true.
That's sad to hear.
Yeah, what do you think? Because him as an artist, he was saying this is his legacy. He wants to leave it at 10. He grew to hate all his favorite directors after their 10th, something like that.
But Quentin Tarantino knows every movie ever.
Well, Well, what can I say? I mean, I'm a fan of his. I'm sad to hear that. I don't know why. I mean, I think that's a mistake. I think he's so much talent that he's a young man. I mean, his best work could be in front of him. He doesn't know that.
It's interesting. He said he was just going to go into theater.
Oh, okay. Cool. I mean, who am I to tell somebody to change their career? But I find that sad because of he's such a great filmmaker, so unique, had his own voice. I mean, he broke rules. He started like things where people go, oh, that movie's very Tarantino-esque. When they say things like that, you broke a genre. You started something.
And he changed dialogue in movies forever.
Changed dialogue. Pulp Fiction was groundbreaking. What could I say? If he's going to give it up and do theater, then I say okay, because I'm from the theater, so I love to see what he writes. Because theater is to me. I started in theater and I still do theater, so I love that. But I hope that he changes his mind, and maybe one day he will. He'll do theater for a few years, and he'll get an idea for a movie, and I hope he comes back. But I wish him well, whatever he does.
All right, we got 2 more questions.
Go ahead. What do we got here?
Hi, I would love to hear the Chazz diet. What his diet looks like today, what his diet looks like years ago, as opposed to now. His never eats food. Foods he loves as a kid but hates now, or vice versa. His favorite cheat foods. The perfect meal he would cook for a first date.
Wow. What's his name? Did you say his name?
Yeah, hang on.
What? Could you read his name?
It's like 100 questions at once.
Carmine.
Well, what's that?
Carmine.
Carmine. What are we all Italians in? Okay. Well, what's funny, but I've been eating healthy all my life. I know that sounds crazy, but I started really watching what I ate when I was probably after high school, 17, 18. I always felt that no soda, try to stay away from sugar. My diet is pretty much the same as it was back then, I'm a little heavier, but I try to take care of myself. You only get one body. I always used to think of this. You get one body, that's it. There's no, now they can replace an arm. a kneecap, a hip. But you get one body, and, you got to take care of it, folks.
What are your cheat foods?
My cheat foods?
Cheat foods.
Cheat. If I want to cheat. If I want to cheat, I have pasta. I try only to have pasta once a week on Sunday, which I got to have on Sunday. Sorry, folks. I got to have my pasta on Sunday, but I don't eat like a half a pound like I used to, 3/4 of a pound. Now I'll just have, a quarter of a pound and say, all right, that's it. But I don't cheat too much, but I would say pasta would be my real cheat. And I love a piece of coconut cake or chocolate cake once in a while. You know, I like that. I would say that.
Tell them about the Chazz Palminteri special, your favorite little snack.
My favorite little snack?
Yeah.
I have a lot of favorite snacks. Which one are you talking about?
You know, the multi-grain bread with the cream cheese dunked in almond milk.
All right. He's such a pain in the ass myself. I love multi-grain toast, you know, with a little cream cheese on and jelly, and I like to dunk. I'm a dunker. Everybody, you know, either you're a dunker or not a dunker. I'm a dunker. I like to dunk. And when I dunk, I really dunk big. Oh, you know what I used to love? I haven't had in years, but when I was young, I did have them, was Entenmann's chocolate donuts. Come on. How could you not crack one of those open and dunk that? Oh, my God. Coming home late at night after a bender, having fun, opened up the refrigerator with Entenmann's. And you know what else I used to love? Hostess cupcakes. Oh, my God. Think about it. Late at night, coming home with your friends, just like open up the Hostess cupcake with the cream inside, dunk it in. Devil dogs. Oh, God.
So you like the sweets?
Yes, but I don't have the sweets like I used to. But back then, yes. When I was before 14, 15, devil dogs, and I used to love the big heroes from Butchie's Deli. But then, I don't know, after I graduated high school, I said, well, wait a minute. You know, I started reading about health, and I started just keeping my weight down. I always said, you know, go to an old age home, you don't see no fat people. There's no fat people. There's nobody late 80s, early 90s fat, really fat.
Interesting.
I'm talking about obese fat. Mm-hmm. They're just not there. So
if you could eat one more food, what would it be? Anchovies?
I love sardines. Sardines are my favorite. I'm Sicilian. I'm full-blooded, 100% Sicilian. Pasta cansade. I love sardines. Chips. What?
I said you eat them like potato chips.
I eat them like potato chips. That's true.
I'm still stuck on you saying you only have one body. Would you ever, we're getting into the future now, if they offered, hey, you can switch bodies, would you do it?
Well, what does that mean? I can live longer?
You could switch a body.
You could just switch into it. Think of them like cars. They'll just download you.
Switch a body? I mean, if it's better, yeah, why not?
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
Would you be the first guy to do it?
Like Jeff Bezos today?
Like Jeff Bezos today? No. Would I be the first guy to do it? No. Let a few people get whacked out first.
Also, what do you think all the rich guys are racing to space for?
You know, he has the money. He wants to race into space. Could it be helpful for mankind? If it's helpful for mankind, okay. But as long as that... See, I don't mind a rich person spending a lot of money on something. I don't mind that. As long as he's equally generous in giving money away.
The motivation, I'm suspect, because I just read there's a new planet they found that's made of diamonds. So I think these guys are just treating this like the oil fields of the future.
Yeah.
You might be right, Pimp. You know what? You might be right. They get up there. Imagine but if you find a planet that's made of diamonds, diamonds wouldn't be valuable.
If Jeff Bezos came here right now and said he wants to take you on his next adventure to space, would you go?
I don't think I go, no.
No?
I think it takes...
They landed, like 4 people.
Yeah. They just went in space and came back.
Yeah.
They didn't go land on some planet.
No, they went up and then they came down.
I mean, what they did was, don't get me wrong, it still takes big balls. What they did was go up above the atmosphere, probably 70, 80,000 feet, where it becomes weightlessness, and then they came down. Still takes big balls, don't get me wrong. It's no cakewalk up there. But I wouldn't do it only because, I don't know, I have a family, I have a wife, children. I don't want it that bad to go up there. You know, I could just say I did, and I could say, yeah, I did. I went in space. Well, I'll lie. How's that? No. It's like these people that go, yeah, do you ever jump out of a plane? I go, no. They go, I did. I go, did you ever do it again? They go, no. I go, so you did it once. You risked your life. I could see if you love doing it and that's what you wanted to do, but why did you do it? I know, so I could tell people I did it. So I go, well, I jumped out of a plane. He goes, you did? I go, yeah. How's that? Same thing. So I lied. Big friggin' deal. You know, I mean, I don't understand that. If you really enjoy doing it, okay, but just to do it, to tell people you did it,
That's kind of like the rock climbers. Did you see that Free Solo movie?
No, that Free Solo guy.
That was crazy.
I mean, that
Alex
guy's nuts.
Honnold.
That guy's pure ego too. It's all ego.
Yeah, did you see the part where his girlfriend is like, "Please, I don't want you to do this," and he's like, "Sorry."
Yeah,
But here's the thing with that guy. What is it? Who's his name?
Alex Honnold. He like doesn't. His brain like can't make fear.
Okay, well, he has no fear, that guy. But let's be honest. Remember I said preparation builds self-confidence? Before he did that thing, before he climbed that mountain in Free Solo, folks, it's a great movie. You got to see it. He climbs the face of this mountain with no ropes, no nothing. And he's on his fingertips and his toes. And you say, how is this possible? I think he climbed it 50 times, 100 times, I don't know, with rope. And he planned his path out. Still, don't get me wrong. What he did was like, and you notice he did it once. He never did it again.
Well, he's free soloed a few things.
Yeah, but not this.
Not El Cap.
This El Cap was like El Capitan was unheard of.
But this guy free solos, that's like his thing.
But that addiction's weird. That's a weird addiction.
That's a weird addiction. Knowing you have to have confidence to know that.
Like if you sneeze.
If you sneeze or something. In fact, the people that took the photo, the movie, when he finally finished, he said they were like stressed out. While they were filming him, every day they thought they were going to film him to his death. Every day.
Yeah. What would you even do with that film then?
I don't know.
Yeah, one of the guys was like, I was really afraid that I was just going to see him fall right through the frame. Real quick.
I mean, just because you got to realize one little, the balance goes, gone. Wow.
It's ego-based. I think adventurers are ego-based.
Ego-based, maybe. But I tell you one thing, a lot of balls.
I heard a guy talking about it, and it was sort of like free soloing is sort of like if you're in the Olympics, and if you don't get a gold medal, you die.
And you don't get a gold medal?
No. Like if free soloing is like if you like being in the Olympics,
right?
But if you don't get a gold medal, you die.
You die.
If you don't come in first, you're dead.
Like you die. Like you die. There's I almost did it.
No, there's almost did it.
We were 90% there. Like if you don't do it 100% perfectly, it's death.
But he did say he planned it out. He did it many times with the rope. Anyway, any more questions?
Yeah, one more. We have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
This is good. We're saving this one. Okay. Did you have to pay tribute to whoever the real Sonny was and maybe all the other guys from the neighborhood? And if so, did you pay?
Ooh. No, I did not have to pay tribute to anyone from the neighborhood because I wrote a story about the neighborhood. First of all, I changed all the names, and I embellished a lot of stuff, so I didn't take anybody's life per se. I didn't film it there. That's why we didn't film it in the neighborhood. I didn't want to start having partners, if you know what I mean. You know, I love some of the wise guys, but, you know, they all want to be partners with you. So we filmed it in Queens, and we kind of took over a whole street, and we filmed it in Queens and Brooklyn. No, I didn't have to pay tribute to anybody. And a lot of the wise guys came to see the show, and they all sat in the first row. I remember they sat in the first row like this. And they didn't laugh. And I said, oh, my God, look at this. And then finally, when they all came backstage, they were all smiling and said they loved the show. So they were happy I changed their names, that's for sure.
Did the wise guys ever go to the musical?
Oh, yeah. But by the time the musical came out 17 years later, because the movie came out in 93. No, what am I saying? More than that. The movie came out in 93. The musical came out in 2016. So quite a lot of them passed away by then, by either old age or assisted suicide.
Yeah, I feel like I never thought of wise guys watching musical. Like, what was the most feminine thing the wise guys did?
That's like, oh no, never mind.
No, that was one of my friends. You know, it was so funny when I did the musical. One of the wise guys, a guy, good friend of mine. My friend, I wonder if I could say his name. Yeah, I think I can.
Maybe not.
He passed away. Fat Ricky. And Fat Ricky came to see me, and first somebody said, hey, there's a guy at the door. I said, what's his name? They said, Fat Ricky. I said, Fat Ricky? He said, yeah. He said, you'll know who he is. I went, oh, okay. I knew. So he came in, and I haven't seen him in 30 years. And I'm in my dressing room on Broadway. He was on The Lamb. He's been on The Lamb for 30 years. The wise guys were after him because he borrowed money. And then he went to another crew to pay the other crew back, and he ran out on both crews. Oh, God. Which was a big mistake, and they were after him for years. They were going to kill him. He had a contract out on him. And here he comes walking in to see me in 2000. This was 2007. 2008 when I was doing the one-man show on Broadway the second time. And this was the conversation. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Where do you live now? You know. Are you married? You know, things happen. You have children? Well, you know, I said, could I call you? Could you give me a phone number? Nah. I said, hey, Rick, it was great seeing you, man. And we hugged and he left. Wow. But he said he was happy that I did something with my life, and I never saw him again, and then I heard he passed away. So, tough life, man. Anyway, tough life. So, I hope you enjoy some of our Neighborhood Logic, some questions from the audience. If you have a question, always go to Chazz Palminteri Show at gmail.com. We'll talk about your question. You got some neighborhood logic. You need some neighborhood logic. Don't go to a shrink. Come to us. We can help you out. Don't forget my show, the one-man show. Go to chazzpalminteri.net. It will be at a theater near you. We're going to be in Long Island, Jersey, Pennsylvania, Queens, Staten Island, Florida, Milwaukee, Chicago, all over. chazzpalminteri.net. Go to my website if you want to buy one of my cards. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent, one of the original posters. Just go to the site. Tells you everything you need to know. God bless you all, and see you next Monday at 11.